Welcome to Reaper Suburban Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper, and we already messing up stuff. All right, let's see if that works. Let's see if we get this right again. Grand day. Welcome to Reaper Suburban Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper. Today is Friday, September the 26th. It is currently a beautiful 66 degrees outside. The high today is supposed to be 82. The low is supposed to be 62. There's a 15% chance of rain around 11, 12, 1-ish today. All right. So today on the homestead, we gonna get a couple things done. Hopefully, we need to harvest some okra because I didn't harvest any okra yesterday. So I expect there'll be a couple of them that are going to be too big, and we need to plant some peas. We also gonna take a look at a few things too. Uh, let's get y'all out of here for a hot second. I'm gonna put y'all flipper ripper. I'm gonna put y'all on my chair on my kangaroo pouch for a minute. We gonna try this tiller. I didn't stream yesterday. I really thought it was gonna be way more wet than it really was yesterday, from all the rain that we received the day before. So that was Wednesday. I thought it was gonna be way more wet, but it really wasn't that wet. Um, I still didn't stream though. I don't too much like walking around the garden when it's wet. I know I'm barefoot. That ain't really the issue. It's usually, in my opinion, in my experience, it's usually a little bit easier to bring in disease and stuff into the garden when you're wet. That's just my experience. But we're gonna get this tiller a shot before we get going. We're gonna put it in the on position, hit that primer bud by 10 times. All right, we're gonna just see how it's going. We're gonna choke it. We're gonna see if we can get this thing to start. I don't think it's fully ready just yet though, but let's see what we are. Oh bro, my bad. I don't know how I'm gonna do this because this is. Let's see. Let's do this, man. Thought I was gonna be able to keep y'all on the camera, on the pouch, in the kangaroo pouch, but that's not gonna happen, capping. So we're gonna have to just set y'all down briefly. Just see if we can get this thing started this morning, and then we're gonna go on about our way. We ain't gonna spend too much time on this. We're not working on this today. Let's see, choke on. That's on. We're gonna lean to one of these sides. Yeah. But yeah, got it started. It's still not good. I still need the team. It still sound not like the team. But we're gonna worry about this. All right, cool. Now we got that out the way. Might as well keep y'all on here. Y'all don't want to look at me for too long though. But yeah, we got the tiller going. It still needs some adjustment. I guess the adjustments now will be since I put the cover to the air filter back on to adjust the throttle and the carburetor again. We'll get to that at some point. I mean, we're gonna get to it pretty soon, honestly. Cause my plan is within the next week. Now that we have the tiller going, because hopefully we don't get any more rain between. I mean, we don't get any more rain for a while. So if it doesn't rain between now and Sunday, it should be dry enough for me to start tilling again, to where the dirt actually breaks up and not turn into like dirt clods from the extra moisture. So hopefully we can get the second bed and fallen pines finished up, tilled out, dug out, bordered, get the notches cut in the borders of the logs, and then we can get that planted with, I mean, hopefully some more peas. Man, I messed around and soaked all my peas in seed soak solution, thinking I was gonna need them, and I didn't. So now, oh, I got ants all in here, bro. Oh, I grabbed compostable stuff. I'm glad them ants didn't bite me. So now it's a time. It's a matter of trying to get my seeds planted and not have them go bad because I pre-soaked too many of them. You live and you learn. I kind of hate it, but it's one of them things. Pre-soaking for me, those peas took about 30 minutes to absorb moisture. So I was, I was in planning mood. I ain't had time to soak a pack, wait 30 minutes, see if it's enough, and then repeat that process. All right, let's. Oh, you know what? My bad, bro. Y'all looking at y'all ain't come here to see me flipper ripper. All right, here's the warm tower in Clayface. Here's Clayface. This bed is called Clayface. Clayface is a Batman villain. If you don't know, if you don't know, again, I am a geek, IT geek, sci-fi geek, comic book type geek. Right? Those are my those are my good places. So in here we cleaned out the warm. It's my country coming out. The worm tower yesterday. So now it's for the most part it's empty. I put the workers back in there. About 8 worms I saw. Put them back in there, and some Malabar spinach that hadn't grown or died. I put that back in there. But now we need to refill it. And so, I mean, the refill is easy. We refill it with compostable materials. Usually, while I'm cleaning up this bed, I just open up the top and drop stuff in. But in this case, we have house compostables. Stuff I will put in the compost pile. It has some ants in there too. And we just gonna do it. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna put that in there like that. We're gonna put this top back on here, and we're gonna let that sit for months. You know what? Since we've done this and now we have a date to check, we'll come back and check it, you know, in a week to see how they're doing, see how they're progressing along. And we'll just kind of check it once a week, a couple times. We'll say at least once a week for the next few weeks to see how long it takes the life in there, the you know, the worms and the microbes to start to break down that material. We'll see how long it takes. We're gonna head out here to the okra patch, but we have to look around first. Gotta look around. Now, even though I didn't stream, I still came out to the garden yesterday. You know that, right? Strawberry tower looking good. Some tomatoes. Yeah, they didn't do too hot this year, but that's cool. I've never liked this spot, but it was available. But now we have other spots to utilize. Ha 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 ha. My period. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Oh, you got you a red mama on you. Look at you. Yeah. Yeah, look at you. Good job. Good job, buddy. Hey, Banana Man. How you doing? We ain't getting no stevia this morning, Banana Man. I ain't walking around that just yet. Pineapple sage. How y'all doing? Got some grapes. Some green, some callaloo, which is green amaranth. Yeah. Yeah. We got some cayenne, some. This is peppermint. Peppermint. Zinnia. OG onion. And I'm up here sitting here thinking, bro, I think I'm going to clip a good bit of these onion tops and dry them out and use them as onion, dried onion. You got some peppers. Hey, baby, what you doing? Oh, cayenne. You still hanging in there. The squirrel ain't ate all of you. That's what's up. Hey, buddies, how y'all doing? Y'all fully? Oh, y'all ready to come up off here? Yeah, sure, are. Yeah. Good looking. Good job. Look at you, Annie. This is Annie Anaheim. Yeah. Good job, Annie. Look at you. Show out. Show out. Look at you. Let me come out here a little bit. Show out, girl. Show out, girl. Girl, quick. Okay, now I think the squirrel is, before I speak too soon, I think the squirrel is kind of left us alone a bit because the peppers are starting to actually get some size on them. I mean, I say that and he'll be back out here tonight. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak too loud because I know he's sitting there listening. Got to check the fence line. He on the fence line, boss. Some serranos, looking pretty good. Got some more flowers. They still doing their thing. The poblanos, they're not getting that big, but we're getting some peppers. The squirrel kind of like these two. I don't know if this camera's picking them up without me touching them. But yeah, you're looking good. Looking good, boy. Looking good. Bananas. All right, cool. All right. Let's move on around. It's been a wasp under here. I need to deal with this wasp mess up under here. They get really agitated when it gets warm. And when you walk past it, like I'm doing. But the whole thing is, it's not that easy to get into the nooks and crevices on that. So it's hard to throw water with dishwashing liquid. That's what I'm going to use to kill them. It's really hard to get that in there. And if you miss one time, buddy, it's a wrap. Look at the ginger bed. Ginger, y'all looking good this morning. Y'all got y'all leaves all spread, soaking up that morning sunshine. Y'all doing good. Oh, I got some more leaves now. Yeah, I can bury that. I can make sure I cover that soaker hose with some more leaves. Yeah. Hey, Cosimosis. Y'all doing good, man. I gotta come get these. The wind just did it split my holy basil? And it didn't split it, but it blew it. Oh, it did split it right here. It did. It split right there. So honestly, this whole branch, truth be told, if I cut this off right there, put all that part into the soil, and trim this back a good bit, it'll probably grow. It'll probably grow. Yeah, the wind just blew this callaloo down. Not gonna stand it up either though. Not nope, 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 nope. Marigold. Oh, y'all finally being married, huh? Marigold. That's what's up. Got some okra. Not okra. We cut out the okra. Some squish. Got some squish in here. Some male squish flower. I saw a female squash flower. Well, I guess at this point it was a squash. Over chill. We're gonna see if it finishes does anything. All right. Reagan looking good. We're gonna end up harvesting this one today. I have to plant some more peas and we need some more compost. So we'll get the compost out of this worm tower. That worm tower is not as old as the other one. This just got put in early this year as we added more soil to that bed. Each bed will eventually have a worm tower in them. But right now it's kind of a matter of trying to get the soil to the final height. Because every year we add soil and every year the soil drops, right? Bottom half of this bed was all sticks and branches. I mean, we got plenty. But we've had plenty. Tree okra looking good. Another cayenne. Look at you, baby. You got you pretty loaded. You alright. Nothing to brag about, but you pretty loaded. My bad. Bird, a little ant. That's not an ant on my toe. Get off my toe. That was not an ant. That was a pine needle sticking me. Funny. Hey, Peer. What you up to? Chilling. You looking good? Finally got all the muscles from around you. Now you can see some sun. That's what's up. I get it. I gets down with it. Some red Malabar spinach growing along the fence. Grapes. All right. We should be good out here. And let's go grab our bowl. And we got our buckets laid out. Now I have to keep saying this because I'm gonna forget if I don't say it aloud. I need to make some Jadon microbial solution, some JMS, to treat the garden. Now the thing is, it takes 36 hours, and I want you guys to be a part of that. So if it takes 36 hours and I stream roughly about 7 a.m., that means I need to make this stuff at 7 p.m. a day ahead. So if I want to use this Monday, I need to make this. Oh, I'm gonna get this wrong. Today is Friday. So I make it Friday night, Saturday. So I need to make it Saturday night at 7. And that means Sunday night at 7 is 24 hours. Monday morning at 7 is 36 hours. And so it should be ready about then. So I need to make it, I forgot again. Saturday evening, Sunday evening, 1 hour. Yeah, Saturday evening, I need to make it. And so what I do is I'll make it Saturday evening so we can use it Monday. And then Monday, I'll show the stream how I made it. And then we'll use the rest of it in another day and a half. Yeah. Some tea, a tea plant, hibiscus. Hibiscus is doing this thing. It is still opening and dropping flowers, and we are still collecting and drying flowers. Every time we think it's done, we be like, oh, no, I ain't done. I got a couple more. Cool. Oh, see now, a couple more. One that's not even open. One that's barely open. So yeah, hopefully as she gets bigger, she'll start blooming multiple blooms at a time. I'm also gonna cut off these side laying branches. One ain't in the way. Two, see if we can make new plants out of them. All right. This rosemary is looking good. Fall is this time of year, if I'm not mistaken, according to the queen. Looking good. Some yarrow, some mugwort. I'm gonna propagate this mugwort some more. It's all long, skinny. What's that? Lemon balm. Loving the flowers on this pineapple sage. All right, some loofah. A couple of late growing loofah, but They growing. Some cukes. All right, all right. There go our our unchipped wood pile. I'm gonna have to look into getting a chip. I think a chipper around here is like $300 for a whole day. My question is, I mean, of course I'm cheap, so I'm worried about the $300. My question is a day gonna be enough? All right, this is like a 5 foot pile of stuff. Can we actually chip all this in a day? That's the question. Because then at that point, we have to rent that thing for multiple days, and you can get to $1,000 real quick. So I might have to look into calling a company to see what they would charge, if they even do that, to just come in and chip all this stuff and leave it here. But at that point, I really want to be through with these beds so they'll know exactly where the wood chips go. So I don't have to move wood chips to plant, I mean to till up beds. Because I don't want to plant in wood chips. I don't think that'll be a smart idea to plant in wood chips. Because wood chips in the very beginning, because they're so carbon rich, they're going to sequester a lot of nitrogen out of the ground in order for them to start to break down. So that's going to pull nitrogen that the plants need. So I would rather let them, I don't know, call it over there by that tree, sit in the corner and compost for a year or two. And as they start composting, then use them. Because then they're not going to actually pull nitrogen from the soil. Same thing with charcoal. When you put charcoal in the garden, you should never use fresh charcoal in the garden. You should charge it first. So when we ever had charcoal, from when either I make charcoal or we have a fire, I'll take that charcoal and put it in the compost. Now my compost is a leaf mold type situation. We just set it and forget it. We don't turn it. So after months to a year, it's ready to use. But what happens with the charcoal is sat in this nutrient-rich environment for about a year. And charcoal, if you know anything about it, is really porous. It's filled with holes. So the microbes use those holes in the charcoal as like hotels. That's where they move in and live at. So now you have this piece of charcoal that has millions upon millions of microbes growing in it. Now it's charged. Now you use it in the garden and then it releases all them nutrients to the garden. But this is what you have to understand about charcoal. Charcoal absorbs first and releases second. So if you put fresh charcoal into the garden without it being charged, it's going to take the nutrients and the information. That's my IT background. It's going to take the nutrients and everything from the soil to sequester for itself. And then it'll release it back, but the damage has been done. Meaning you pull nutrients from your plants while you're trying to get plants to grow. The second crop behind it may do well. Maybe. But yeah, that's called biochar. And I guess we make that. Huh? We make charcoal, we put it in our compost, we use it. And I've just not made biochar specifically. All right, man. Let's do this. We're gonna put y'all on the kangaroo pouch. I really just want to set y'all down somewhere and go to work. But this thing is so tall. Y'all won't see me in the back. You wouldn't. Not no more. I don't even think from here you can see my hand. This stuff has gotten tall. And do I have some pruners? Yes, I do. All right. I must have did a decent job at. We're gonna see how many big ones I have. I didn't pick any okra yesterday. Not morning, not midday, not afternoon. So I expect to see a whopper or two. But this is good size. Look at these ants. Somebody come look at these ants. Get out. Get out. Get out. This is how I get bit by ants so much. But then the fact that I'm barefoot. You know, pretty soon it's gonna get too cold to be out here barefoot, bro. Might have put some shoes on. I ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna be for real. I found myself feeling really weird when I walk in the backyard with shoes on, bro. Like that is a really weird feeling to me. It's like for me it's like, I don't know, walking around in the house with a parka on, with a big old jacket on. It's just not necessary. And part of me feels a little bit like I'm disrespecting my grass. Well, let's just say the land, because I'm not studying no grass. I'm gonna be for real. As opposed to a lawn, I would rather have a yard full of clover. Clover feels amazing to walk in. And it's a nitrogen fixer. And it attracts bees. So we're pollinators more than just bees. So I hope y'all getting this, because I can't really see at the moment. Forgive me if you can't. All right. I'm leaving the decent sized ones. Now, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm no expert, right? You know what I'm saying? Understand, I suck at this. Understand. This is a decent one, right? You know what I'm saying? That's about, I don't know, 3, 4 inches. That's about 4 inches ish. Is that good to eat? In my opinion, yeah, straight off the plant, honestly. If I wasn't talking, nah, I'm gonna be crunching y'all ear. I'm not finna crunch y'all ear. I'm not finna eat this on. I'm not finna be crunching y'all ear. Yes, I am. I'm lying. Yes, I am. I'm lying. But normally I would pick this. This is good. This is small, but I like this like this. Hopefully it's decent size by tomorrow. Cause I come out here again in the morning to harvest before the market. Before we hit the today is Friday, right? Before we hit the farmers market. I, I unmute myself first, and then I come out here and harvest a few things. Gotta finish getting rid of this poison ivy though. This stuff is everywhere mixed in here. You see it? Do you see it? Poison ivy, right there. Do you see it? Right next to it, Virginia creeper. If I can get my finger to work, right there. They look very similar. One of them has like 5 leaves, the other one has like 3. So I have to be really careful when I'm just yanking this stuff out. But don't worry, we're gonna get it all out of here at some point. It's been here since before we got here. All right, zoom out, flip a ripper. Cat, flip a ripper. Eat a little okra if you want. No, I do not wash these off. We don't use any pesticide, and a little dust on here doesn't really bother me. If I eat a bug or something, I should pay more attention. We'll call that protein. Okay, I'm not going to keep chewing while y'all looking at my nose. We're going to flip a rip, and I'm going to keep on eating. Forgive me chewing for real, though. Seriously, in all honesty. Forgive me chewing, talking my mouth full, and crunching in your guys' ear. Y'all getting a little nutrition in while I cut these. The queen has been boiling okra for like lunch. She asked me to, yep, matter of fact, it was last night. Man, Real, have you had these things yet? Have you tried this okra yet? I looked at her and laughed. I was like, girl, yeah, I ate so much of that okra. But I don't know what it tastes like cooked, though. She said, what? Nah, I don't cook it. I said, nah, I hadn't cooked it. I just pretty much been eating it on the plants outside. She's like, yeah, that's what you Delta boys do, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. So, we're going to start cooking it. I need to pickle some. Oh, I need to tell y'all the results of my pickling experiment. I tried some lacto-fermented pickles, right? And I used okra, and I used some peppers, and I used some zucchini, right? One of them was just okra. One of them was okra and cucumber. I said peppers. I mean, yeah. We tried okra, cucumbers. We had a few peppers. That was mostly for heat, not for eating. And we tried zucchini. The okra and cucumber, they smell really funky. I taste them. They didn't make me sick or anything, but I don't like the smell. The zucchini, on the other hand, start to actually smell like pickles. And the reason I'm saying that is because this pickle wasn't a normal pickle. It wasn't made with vinegar. Like normally a quick pickle or a normal pickle, you put, use vinegar. Vinegar, some sugar, some salt, I think, and whatever spices. This is made through lacto fermentation, so we just use salt. I just use salt to do this. So it's your material, call it your veggies, and then water, and then 2% of the weight of both of those is salt. So just for easy numbers, if you have 400 grams of why did I bite this thing and keep talking? My bad. Hold on. We're either gonna be eating or talking. Just say, for instance, you have 400 grams of okra. Then what you would do is you fill that up to your jar. I'm using a quart-sized jar in this case. You would fill that up with water and just say it came out to 500 grams. So the weight of your water and your vegetable is 500 grams. You would multiply 500 grams by 2%. Well, if you're using a calculator, it'd be 500 times 0.02, 2%. And you would get that number, which I think is like, that's easy math, right? It's like 1,000. Take out 2 zeros. So it's like 10 grams. And so you would take out 10 grams of salt. You would add it to the jar, mix it up real good, and then you would put a lid on it to where you'll need an airlock type lid, right? You want the gases from the fermentation because fermentation is going to happen. So carbon dioxide is going to be produced. You will need that to escape, but you don't want to allow oxygen back in, right? So they needs to live in an anaerobic environment. So there are a couple of ways you can do that. We bought some fermenting lids, and they are silicone, fairly cheap. Want to see how they work out? We're not gonna use that one. That's an ugly baby. That's an ugly baby. It's an ugly baby. And so yeah, we let that sit anywhere from 3 days to 10, I think, and they end up making some really good pickles. Check out the Insta, cause I'm about to, I'm almost through eating the zucchini. Like they are really good, and I need to go ahead and take some pictures and drop a post on Instagram and Facebook to let people know how it turned out. Cause I told them how it started, and I did not tell them how it ended, and I'm almost through eating the zucchini, bro. It is so good. And then lacto fermented stuff is supposed to be good for gut health. Anything fermented is supposed to be good for your gut health. And so we're trying to implement more fermented foods into our diet. We do make kombucha from time to time. I need to start back making kombucha. Kombucha is one of them things that's really good. I love it, but I'm not gonna act like it's like. But when you start it, you have to maintain and keep up with it. It needs to be fed. So I've gotten lazy about. I've gotten lazy about talking with my mouth full. I've gotten lazy about feeding it. So the last one I had died. My last SCOBY died. I have to make another one. This right here though. That's a problem. We're gonna see how that work out. That's pretty big. And I know people who like them that size. Some people like them tough. I don't know why. I don't. All right, come on, get up out them pockets. Run them pockets. All right. Back here, the boss. Hold on, I'm trying to finish breakfast. Yeah. All right, I'm prunes that. And we headed back in here. You know, I need to look up what exactly are these ants eating in this okra. And I really hadn't really treated this patch too well, honestly. I've sprayed it a little bit with my K&F sprays, but not a lot. It's kind of a get it how you live situation. I mean, honestly, we are eating and consuming and selling the okra. But honestly, this spot is really for sugarcane. I just didn't want it to sit idle for that long, for a few more months before it was going to be called into action. Man, I got all so close up in here. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit. So everybody ain't got to put their phones across the room to look at it. You're going to get them other side, from the other side. I'm not like you. Yeah, I grew up on the other side. No silver spoon, I had to struggle for my dollar sign. Anybody know that song? All right. So how is everybody this morning? I hope everybody is having a grand day. I mean, grand day. You know, I've had some people ask me, why do you always say grand day and not good morning? I think that's fair. One, I'm trying to be different. No, really not trying to be different. I'm using my words with intention. I try to use my words and I try to speak with intention, right? First of all, good morning is just something we all know, we all say. It sounds pretty cliche, right? But the truth of the matter is, in all honesty, I don't really want you to have just a good morning. I want you to have a great freaking day. So I start off my greetings by telling people, grand day. Your words have power. I speak that into existence of the people around me. Like I'm telling you, bro, grand day. Not I wish you have a grand day. I'm telling you to have a grand day. Or letting you or reminding you this is a grand day. So you know what I'm saying? Forget that good morning. I don't want it to be just good. I want it to be more than I want it to be better than good. And I want it to last longer than the day. Longer than the morning. So that's why, if I can cut this, for me, I hit you with a grand day, or a power rising, or a peace rising, because that is the effects I want to speak out for the people around me. I mean, just it. You know what I'm saying? Kind words. People say, kind words repel hatred. and angst. It is hard to fight somebody who trying to hug you. In essence, you know what I'm saying? Now don't forget, it's a-holes out here who still will. It's a-holes out here who hurt children. So, people, there's 8 billion of us on this planet. That means 8 billion possible things that can happen. But I'm just trying to speak with intention. And man, I'm having look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look how hard. Can y'all even see that? Well, my hand's barely on there. Whew. So yeah, that's why I hear people with a grand day. Your words have power. Use them as such. They can be used to heal or harm. Pick. Choose a lane. I don't know how esoteric people become, but I'm not saying I believe in witchcraft or spells, but think about your words as spells. Spells are spoken things that they say witches use to cast or whatever. I mean, that's all intention, right? Maybe that's your goal. My goal is to spread peace and love and happiness. Think of them as the same. Do I think I'm casting a spell? Nah. I think I'm playing a subliminal message. That's what I truly think. I'm playing a subliminal message, man. We're gonna let that one get bigger. That you can't ignore. Because it's rattling around in that head. Ah, man, bro. Look, bro. Look, bro. I let you make it look ugly. Wait, can y'all see this? A little ugly spider. I let you make it yesterday. I knocked down this whole wheel. I ain't really knock it down. I moved it from like right over here to right over here. He moved it back. Which is smart, right? Smart for him. He know where the food at. My bad, bro. My bad. I'm trying to grab his web. My bad. I'm trying to grab all your web pieces. I'm sorry, Mr. Spider-Man. But you gonna have to get your butt out the way. Going on now. I already don't like your kind. I'm sorry. I'm terrified of spiders, honestly. That spider gonna get on me. I'm gonna get naked out here. It's gonna be problems. It's gonna be some problems. When I was younger, man, I was driving, coming to a stop sign in my hometown, and a spider fell on my shoulder. Bruh, now granted, I was at a stop sign. It was an incline coming up, but I jumped out the car while it was still in drive. Now granted, it moved. It was in drive, but it was going uphill, so it was slow. Bro, I got out my whole shirt and left it on the ground and got back in my car without that shirt on, just a t-shirt on. Yep, no chance. It wasn't even, little bitty baby. It wasn't even a big spider. I wasn't taking no chance. I don't think y'all understand what scared mean. So did. Screamed like a little chick. Jumped out that car, took that shirt off with one hand at that. With one hand. With the right hand, because the spider landed on my left shoulder. Couldn't use that one. Dropped that thing on the road and jumped back in the car. Wasn't playing. Caught up to my car. It took like 3 steps to catch up to the car. But anyway, it's funny. Hey, buddy. You a little bitty dude out here. Yeah, you out here with these giants, man. My bad, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't. But you still gonna give us some peppers, though. We're gonna eat a couple of y'all, and we're gonna harvest a couple of y'all to grow again next year. The okra, see what I'm saying? See? I missed this. I'm saying, come here. Missed it. Oh, we got some more we have some more blackberries starting to come up from the ground. Yeah. You probably can't. There's one right up in there. I ain't finna be zooming in. So one up in here. Gotta keep an eye open for these. Because if I don't mark them, my yard guy gonna cut them. I can't blame them. Hell. They blend in. So I'm gonna have to mark these. Excuse me. Let them grow. All right, I think I did a pretty decent job. I know I didn't get them all. We're gonna unload the pocket, and then we're gonna move over to mix up some soil so we can try to plant some. What did I do with the peas? I didn't even get the peas. Let me go find the peas first. They should be on the back patio. So we'll walk this back up to the patio. Leave them on the banister or somewhere near the door. And then we're going to come back and try to get some peas planted. So we got to mix up some soil first. There's some soil in that bin, in that little tote that's in that wheelbarrow, but it's not gonna be enough. So we're gonna try to mix up some soil in the bin, add some other soil to it, and we're gonna try to get these peas planted. Now the first bin, I think I got like 50 or 60 peas in that thing. Normally I plant my peas 2 inches apart, and then I come back thin them to like 4 inches apart. So it's like removing every other one. I happened to be reading the packet, and the packet was like, nah, you can plant them like 2 inches apart. And it was like, then it not required. I was like, what? And it was like, hey, they kind of strong too, so they ain't really gonna need no trellis. I was like, what again? I was like, oh, okay, cool. But let's make sure I read that right. Can y'all do you see it? Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna assume that y'all can see this. I truly don't know. Okay. If you can see it, they can see it, son. Seed spacing, 2 inches. Row spacing, 18 inches. I also made my row in that other bed 2 feet apart. It's 24 inches. Thinning not required. So they saying that these things can grow at 2 inches apart. So I said, all right, cool. And I also said, short plants reach only about 2.5 feet. Don't need support, but a short fence or a trellis make it cool. So we got one. We gonna see though. We gonna see if they telling us the truth is. If they telling us the truth, because those are lies I follow. We're gonna grab a stool. It's like a side down, and we planted Cascadia peas the other day in the bed. So we're not gonna plant those. So this one, we're going to plant these. What are these? Sugar snap with the edible pod. So we're gonna plant these. Is this gonna be enough though? So we're gonna take these and we're gonna take these just in case. Do I care about the beans being mixed with peas? Nah, man, I don't. I'm gonna be for real. I don't. I mean, it'll be great. It is great to have them all separate and sell them. You know what I'm saying? As such. But in this case, these peas are either going to be for us to eat, or if we have a surplus, we'll have them to sell. We're just gonna pretty much call them snap peas. I don't think anybody's gonna mind if one is a Cascadia, one is a sugar daddy, and one is a sugar snap, unless they just look and taste totally different. And if that's the case, we'll be able to identify them. But more times than not, I'm thinking they're gonna taste and look fairly similar. Never grown them, so honestly don't know. So honestly, we're gonna see. You might forgive me for squatting. So I think we're gonna do this like this. I think we're gonna just set y'all up on this tripod, get y'all off my kangaroo pouch. Like, I don't mind the kangaroo pouch, man, but all this moving around, bruh, I think that's just, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm sorry. I do appreciate y'all for stopping by, though, but I'm sorry. This is the best I'm gonna get right now. Like, that's it. That's it. But I do appreciate y'all stopping by, hollering at your boy. Hey, yo, what's good? I cannot pronounce your name. Jendell Palmer. That's two names, ain't it? Jendell Palmer. Jendell Palmer. I'm butchering that, bruh. I'm butchering that. My bad. It's nothing personal. Blame it on being from the Delta. Nah, it's a name. My bad, bro. I'm not trying to disrespect at all. All right, let's do this. Trying to get this thing set up. Flipper Ripper. Hey, let me go. Ooh, you look good. I need to shave for real, though. Ooh, I need to cut my hair, too. I got to go to the office today. So I think I'm going to make sure I do some personal hygiene as far as grooming, personal grooming. That'll be what that is. I'm trying to figure out a spot to put this. I don't even have y'all looking through jail. I'm trying to. I don't really want y'all. That's gonna have to. We gonna have to. Somebody gonna have to. We just gonna kind of shift. Catawampus. Well, that's what we gonna do. We gonna shift like this. Cause I don't really want to move this thing too far from where I need it to be in the end. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. We have some components. This here is rock dust, azomite. It provides trace minerals, and that's what we're gonna use it as such. All right. And kind of a little pine straw at the bottom of that thing. We have some blood meal, some bone meal. Each one of these should be certified organic. And for us, they're certified organic. They're organic. I didn't even say certified organic, but I think that's a different thing. We have some perlite. We have some. I said perlite, but I don't know if I showed perlite. Got perlite. This is straw mulch on top. We have vermiculite, which helps with porosity and a little bit of water retention. Perlite kind of does the same thing. It does more with aeration than it does moisture retention. It will hold some moisture, not as well as vermiculite. We have some black cow compost. Oh, that's the other thing you're gonna have to get is some worm compost. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Unless y'all want to see it now. I mean, y'all want to see the worm harvesting the worm compost. Put in worms in the chat, and then we'll just run all over there and do it. Still have to do it. We have topsoil. These are all the things that we use to make our soil. We have sand. We use paver sand or coarse sand, which and then the base of the mix is moss. We start with other moss. Now for us, we make a bean of this stuff. We can pretty much get like 3 beans worth out of 1 bag of compost peat moss. That bag usually runs about 18, 20 bucks. Alright, now I will not be giving you guys ratio. Nah, I will. Look, bro, this ain't nothing proprietary, bro. I am trying to pass information. I am not trying to get anything. I'm trying to get my pruners to stop sticking me. Kind of like this belt, but only issue I have is sharp things. I mean, but it's not made. I'm not using it for its intended purpose. It is not meant to have sharp things in it. So why do I keep putting sharp things in it? What are you doing? Yeah. I like this little thing. I need to find either a better one or a way to reinforce this bottom one. I don't even want to put them back right there. We're going to poke another hole in. And I like to have my pouch behind me. I'm gonna be for real. Feel like a fanny pack when it's in front. Feel like I'm a tourist or back in the 90s. Hey, who grew up in the 90s and had a fanny pack in the 90s? I did. And put everything in that fanny pack, bro. Everything. And I was a little nerdy kid. Still is a nerdy kid. Was and is a nerdy kid. All right. First thing we're gonna do is just break up this peat moss. It's compressed, so it's clumped. All right. Now I hope we have enough to get, 2/3 full. I plan on putting a lot of plants in here, so do they require that much soil? I honestly don't know, but I do know they're gonna need a good amount of soil to hold enough moisture. Like I said, we put like 50 or 60 some seeds in that other one. I doubt we're gonna get 100% germination. I hope it's like 80%. Alright, especially considering, I soaked these seeds a day or 2 ago. I should have used them then, but like I said, I soaked too many seeds, not realizing how many I needed. I was going to need. I hate that, but it happens. Sometimes if you don't break any eggs, how you gonna learn how to cook? Alright. For me, I also want to try to break up this peat moss as much as possible and get it incorporated. Because when peat moss dries, it becomes hydrophobic. So I don't really want pockets of peat moss that are either still clumped up or hadn't been incorporated. They're just sitting by themselves. Because if it ever gets dry, it's going to take a while for it to get to a point where it's ready to accept moisture again. So if you water in a pot like that, all your water is just going to run out the bottom. You need to sit that pot inside of a container of water. Just let it sit. I mean, most plants are okay with sitting in water for about 24 hours. You go drown that plant. He hadn't drowned ours yet. Most of them we keep in 10 by 20 inch trays. And the way we water them is we just fill up the tray of water, dump it the next day, dump the water the next day. So, has that kid up? Probably. Alright, we got compost in there. We have peat moss in there. And now now we're about to move to the next component. In this case, it's just going to be sand as close to it. Now for me, now peat moss. I talked about it, but I ain't talked about it. Peat moss for me is one part of my mix, right? I do these things in parts. They just make it simple. The peat moss is one part, the compost is one part, the topsoil is one part. The sand is only 10% made of the entire mixture. The perlite and vermiculite together equal one part. So they are half a part apiece. Now for me, the easiest way to explain parts is just have a standard measuring size. If I were to fill this cup up, this cup would be a part, small scale. So I would put 1 cup of this peat moss, that's one part, 1 cup of topsoil, one of these cups, this is actually a quart, which is another part, 1 part of compost, be it worm compost, cow compost, animal compost, or just compost. That's another part. Now, not bone meal, blood meal, but the perlite and vermiculite will be half. Perlite to be at the bottom half or the top half. Vermiculite, the other half. That's another part, right? Sand will be what you think 10% of all that stuff is. So, honestly, the way I look at it, 10% of that, I kind of just guess at it. Maybe close to about a quarter to a half a part in itself. So, I mean, it's all just like, look, bro, it's best guess. I'm not sitting here making. You see, I'm dumping. It looks right. It feels right. In the end, you want a consistency that you like. So you have to play with it, figure it out. Do I get it right all the time? No, bro, I don't. Because I'm trying to guess what's 10% of this finished being, and it ain't finished. Honestly, the sand going in last probably wouldn't hurt. At least you'll have a better idea of what 10% of all this stuff can look like. But the way I look at it is, you can always add some more. Just a little bit at a time, bitch. If you cook, you understand, right? You can always put it in. It's easy to put it in. It's hard to take it out. It is hard to get salt out of stuff that ain't supposed to be salty, especially when it's not a soup. All right, so then we got the sand. We can get the topsoil. Topsoil, we pretty much I want to use all this bag, but it wouldn't. That'll be a tad bit too much. So we're gonna use most of this bag. Now this topsoil in particular has sand in it. So you want to account for the sand that's in products that you're using. Like I know that this stuff has sand in it. So I am a tad bit lighter on the sand that I actually add. The black cow manure may have a little bit, not as much as the topsoil usually does. And the topsoil is just cheap blue a home department store, home improvement stores, the blue ones, not the orange. That's what we use. We're gonna just, like again, we can add some more and take it out. So we're gonna let that raw, and then let's grab perlite, different markalite. Oh, this is perlite. Here's the perlite. We're gonna get this. Matter of fact, let me stand upwind this stuff. I don't want to breathe this. I don't want to breathe that stuff. I'm probably going to end up having to put some more perlite because I don't think there's much perlite in that bean that I brought. But we're going to put, that's probably enough. We're going to let that rock. We're going to see how that goes. Put you over here. And we're going to get the vermiculite. Now, I personally like coarse vermiculite, but the blue box store didn't have it, and I did not order any off Amazon. I need to place an Amazon order. I wasn't thinking about it. I need bags. So I can't open the bag. That's pretty trash. I'm not gonna put my mouth on that though. Ooh, I might need to sharpen a knife. Way too much pepper. Maybe we'll stream me sharpening a knife and some other stuff. It's not like I really know how. I'm being for real. This is me learning stuff along the way and showing you guys how I'm learning. I hope you guys didn't come here thinking I know what I'm doing. I'm just showing y'all. Nah, bro. Now I'm learning and I'm showing y'all what I'm learning. So you guys get to learn through my mistakes, my successes, and my failures. And we gonna call that not good enough. And we gonna not breathe that stuff. Now two more components we need will be compost. Now honestly, I can just use this cow compost and call it fair. But I am going to introduce some of my own compost as well. I mean, we took the time making it on the homestead, so we might as well use that. The point is, actually, the goal is to get to where we don't have to buy. We no longer have to buy black cow meat, right? Not that we're going to have cows, but we're just going to be able to produce our own compost to the point that we don't need to go buy it. So right now, we do produce some compost. It's nowhere near enough to keep up with our needs, so we have to purchase more. We do take the supplement when we can get it. We appreciate it. But the goal is to not have to buy this. The goal is not to have to buy as much as possible. Truth to be told. All right, now we got all that. That's about half a bean. I think we might work out all right, though. That might be cool between adding that and adding. Yeah, I think we might be all right. Now that we have that, we're going to go get some more compost, but we're going to add some other stuff. We're going to add the azomite. Now the azomite, I don't know how big this container is, how many gallons. The azomite, we're gonna probably put close to a quarter cup. I might be wrong, but I would have to guess it's probably a quarter cup. Now these are just trace nutrients, so it's not like we need to put a lot of them. First of all, they're called trace nutrients or trace minerals because of that. They are available usually in trace amounts in the soil, so you don't need a lot. Bone meal, I would grab it, but I don't really want to touch it. If I gotta go to work, this stuff stink. It smells like stinky stuff most of the day. So we're gonna just sprinkle this in here, about a quarter cup for this whole bean. Is that gonna be enough? I don't know, but that's all I'm gonna use though. That's all I'm gonna use though. Bone meal, same thing. About a quarter cup. We're gonna stand up here. Oh, don't wait, don't spill it. We ain't pouring mud on the ground. We ain't pouring mud on the ground. And we're gonna let that ride. And we're gonna step back over to this side. Alright. So we are about to move to go get some worm compost. So I'm gonna do this. Take y'all with me, flip a ripper. That's what all that looks like so far. Yeah, it look good. Yeah. This is what's left in here. This mix here is pretty much red. It has everything I just put in there except it needed some more perlite. So, honestly, that's what it needed. So I need to go on ahead because I forget. Probably gonna hit up the blue box store on the way home from the office. I need to go pick up some equipment. We're gonna think that's enough. Yeah. Oh yeah, babe. Oh yeah, babe. And I do when I'm doing this, I do scratch the bottoms. I do understand I put peat moss in here first, and if I don't move it, it's gonna be at the bottom. Unmixed, unincorporated. Didn't get a chance to touch anything else that's worth something. My bad. Let me try to zoom out with them two fingers. Alright, there we go. That looks good. That don't look bad. Probably add a little bit more, but we're gonna let that work. Let's put y'all on the pouch, kangaroo pouch. Alright. Should be a hand trial over here somewhere. And yes, one on the end of that bed. We'll grab a bucket. Now over here we have some more compost. It's not vermicompost, for real. I don't know how many worms actually get through these bags. And y'all ain't gonna be able to see nothing if I just come over like that. Now we're not gonna use this today. This is just more of a leaf mold compost and a vermicompost. We just stop pile leaves in this bag, and sometimes I put compost material, like these pumpkin seeds. Maybe they squash seeds. And we just let it sit. And over time, it turns from leaves to this. Full of microbial life. And I'll sift it when I'm saving the compost. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm harvesting compost to store, I sift turn the big pieces back to the compost. But when we using it in the garden, I don't sift it. That's an unneeded step. It goes straight from the bin to the garden. From the compost place to the next container. Let's see. See if we can fill this up. And we are pushing time. No complaints. We're gonna get done when we get done, baby. That's how they gonna work. Let's see how many worms we come across. Yesterday when I was digging out of Clayface worm tile, this is mother worm tile right here. This is mother. This bed is called Mother Earth. It's the first earth bed that I built. By earth bed, I mean we pretty much growing in the ground. We just built a short border around it. All right, now right here, let's do this. Let's get y'all off here and let y'all look up again. That's what the worm tile looks like. We have some Malabar spinach growing there. That's what was left from all the Malabar spinach that we pulled out of this bed to plant. We just dumped half of it in here and the other half in other worm tile. And some of it decided not to die. So this thing putting on seed. Hopefully this ain't gonna be too bad for y'all. I'm trying to get this in here where we're gonna put that over there. Come on, Leaf. I'm trying not to cut you off, but you kind of in my way, bro. Alright. So after pulling out the loose, non-composted material, I'm gonna show y'all what it is. That's what came out. That's what's left in here. Can you see? Oh yeah, good. How deep is that? I don't know. Can't never really tell, honestly. I'm gonna be for real. My perception is not thrown off of Dylan. Flipper Ripper. But dealing with that bucket, it looks a little weird. I'm not expecting this one to have as much compost. Can I get up here and squat like a bird? Can I get up on here and squat like a chicken? I'm roosting. I'm perched. But yeah. It's just kind of weird to see for me to see how deep this thing is. My bad for shaking y'all around. Yeah, this one here. I mean, this bin is newer. This worm tower is newer than the other one. So it's not going to have. It hadn't been working that long. But, hey, B, we do have some babies. Uh-oh. We got some workers. It's always good to see worms in the worm tower doing their job. We're going to put you right there. We're going to put you back when we finish, buddy. I don't want to cut you by mistake. And then I try to empty the compost in the container to where if there are any worms in these little clumps and claws that they break open and kind of expose themselves, like this one right here. See that? That. See that? See that? And the other worm left. Of course, right? He is alive. He ain't just gonna stay there. He don't like the sunlight. I don't want to lose him. All right, buddy. We're gonna assume that you knew what you were doing. Now this would be a whole lot easier with a shovel. The shovel I had fit in here perfectly, but the shovel I had also broke. So we're hand troweling that thing. Now remember, when you're doing this, don't take all the compost. Leave some to cover the bottom. The compost is filled with microbes and stuff, and it will become the inoculum for the new material that we put in here. Right? Because this stuff already has all the good stuff in it. The worms have already given it all the good stuff. We're not going to remove all of it. We want that to be there to spread them good germs, that good love to the new batch of compost that we're going to put in here. And for the time being, it's going to sit empty-ish until I put some more compostable material, until I do some cleaning, or we end up with more compostable materials from the house. Man, it's like 3 more worms down there. I'm not gonna pull them out. I have to just take my word for them. Hey, buddy, go back to work. Can I find your teammate? Well, he do the job. He did the job and went back in the ground. He ain't stupid. He don't like worms. Don't like sun. He went back. Got a little snail. Hey, little snail. Eating my Malabar. Eating the Malabar. We're gonna put those uncomposted material back in there. They'll compost if they die, or they'll grow. 1 and 2. All right, that's the worm tower being cleaned out. You saw me refill one earlier. Now you see me harvest one. Now at any point you can add materials to this. I mean, feel free to add materials to this until it's filled up. Check it periodically to see if it needs to be emptied, emptier when you need it, or when it needs to be um, when it's full. We use 5-gallon buckets with lids for that. You can use pretty much anything you want. The dollar store or most department stores have mesh trash baskets, the wire mesh trash baskets. Those will be perfect. Those already have holes in them. The worms can already get in and out those holes. The buckets, you're gonna have to drill holes. Then you're gonna have to sand those holes. Then you're gonna have to clean the burrs out the holes so the worms don't cut themselves up while trying to slide in and out. Easy and time consuming, right? Time consuming to put all them little holes around the sides and the bottom. And it's even more work to sand all that stuff. And then once you sand the outside and the inside, you need to get you a dowel and some sandpaper to sand inside them little holes. That's a lot of work. Or you can just get you a wire mesh trash basket and find some way to put a lid on it. Now, some way to put a lid on it honestly means a piece of plywood across the top of it and a brick to keep squirrels out of it. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's going to be looking for compostable materials, rodents, squirrels, rats, whatever. So we're going to add this to there. Wasn't a lot. But what I can't do is speak at the moment. But what it is doing is adding whatever beneficial microbes to this. And that's the important thing. Flipper ripper. The important part of this is the soil life. Like, I'm trying to create an environment where we can create and maintain life. Soil life. The soil life is gonna feed us. I am a firm believer in that. That's the point of the KNF, the Korean natural farming, or natural farming in general. Regenerative practices is to pay attention to the soil. Get the soil life, the soil structure right. And they found that everything else usually goes okay. So now we coming to a stopping point. This is as far as we're gonna get on the stream. This is pretty much done. I'll mix all this up to combine everything together to make it a homogeneous. I said that right? An homogeneous mixture. A heterogeneous mixture. It will become nourished up. It will become a man, I'm gonna have to look that up for real. Is it homogeneous or heterogeneous? I want to say it becomes a heterogeneous mixture because homogeneous means that everything kind of I think that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everything kind of melds in. You can't really pull the parts out. You can't do that. Everything becomes one. Heterogeneous means everything becomes a mixture, but you can still identify each individual parts. I think that's what heterogeneous means. You can see the components mixed in, but you probably just can't separate them, but you can see them. Homogeneous would be like, I don't know, I think like sugar and water. Sugar's gonna dissolve into the water, so you won't be able to get the sugar back out of it. I could be wrong too, because this ain't that. I'm a computer nerd. I'm trying to be a world nerd. So yeah, we're gonna pretty much get ready to end the stream. And what I will do when I get back to the house, we'll pick up with this. Finish mixing this. I'm sitting here thinking, you know, this will probably be way easy to get a blue tarp and pour this on a blue tarp and just kind of move the tarp around and mix all this stuff up. I need to find a mechanical or a less manual way to do this, but it still gets it mixed up well. But there are a lot of clods in here. The cow compost has rocks in it. Like I don't understand how this compost has rocks this size. And the cows eat rocks, man. And if so, why do you have your cows around rocks to where they can eat rocks? Well, maybe it's like a chicken and they need it for it to work for their stomach. Man, cow got like 4 stomachs. I can't believe that. Like a chicken would eat grit and stuff to go down to their gizzard, I think, to help grind up food. But a cow got like 4 stomachs. But anyway, that's just something that crossed my mind. It's like, dude, why is there always so many rocks in this compost? Like, we paying for this stuff by weight, for one. You know what I'm saying? Each bag weighs a certain thing, and a small percentage of that is rocks, some I can't even use. So that begs the thing, you know, I know cows don't eat rocks. Why y'all herding your cows where they can eat rocks? Again, that just may be ignorant questions because the rocks probably do some stuff you don't know nothing about. Because this ain't your industry. Probably. But I am real meticulous when it comes to mixing this stuff up. I am. So, honestly, this will be another 15 minutes of me doing this. Because understand, I am getting to the bottom of every side of this bean and mixing stuff up and incorporating and smashing and making sure the compost with the good bacteria is talking to the other stuff that's inert, that ain't got no nutritional values. And we still had not added, we added everything. Yeah, that was literally everything. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Everything has been added, it just needs to be mixed, filled to the proper line, and planted. So stay tuned on Insta for the post of this is finished. Um, you'll get the I'm done post. And we also get I'm done post plus whatever else happened on the homestead that day. Yeah. I hate leaving things incomplete. I do. But so goes life. So goes life. Little Malabar spinach piece. Yep, y'all gonna compost in that too. I should have introduced enough soil life to kind of get things kicked off. And we will be treating these with the Korean natural farming inputs. I need to get more into the IMOs of the Korean natural farming because that's the basis of it right there. That is how you take strong microbes, multiply them, and add them to your property. And right now I'm just trying to source materials to do that with. I don't want to have to go buy rice bran and oats. Especially not every time I want to make this. I want to make it, I'm saying, damn near weekly. And so that gets cost prohibitive. I'm not trying to do that. The goal is not to throw money at it. The goal is to take what someone deems an output and turn it into an input. Closing the loop, trying to become more self-sufficient, more sustainable. So I think I'm going to see if I can find acorns this year from somewhere. And see if I can use acorns as a substrate to grow my microorganisms on. We're going to see. Probably going to work best if they were ground down. I don't have a way to grind them. It's not an efficient way to grind them. We can crush them up though. Expose their insides. May take a little longer probably. Wish I had more time to try this kind of stuff. All right, let me stop. I gotta get all this stuff on my fingernails. I'm gonna let y'all see what this looks like at the moment. Not 100% done. And I think we're gonna leave all this stuff out here. We shouldn't get no rain. It's like a 15% chance of rain. You know what? I'm a bit paranoid and OCD, so we gonna anything that I don't want to get wet, we'll put inside this bean. And we'll put the top on that bean. Just in case the weatherman, the people that know, don't know what they talking about. I don't care about the compost, the topsoil. I don't really like this sand here. This sand is so, it'll run out, if that makes any sense. The sand is kind of small. Alright. That ain't gonna be bad. Cool people. Let me get y'all up out of here. Let's see what we got. What we got? Few people looking. All right, this is what this mix looks like so far. Not done. I still have to mix it up more. Right? It's still perlite, especially on this side over here. I hadn't really gotten down on that side just yet. So we're gonna come across sand, peat moss. Yeah, some sand. Get that incorporated in there. Sand is another one of them things you want to break up and spread around. Sand clumps together for whatever reason. Sand likes to hang out with itself. And if you leave it to its devices, it will. All right. But yeah, that looks good. That's not a bad look at all. Plus, it's going to look a little bit better when we finish. This is all that compost feels good. Wait. Smells good. Man, your compost should smell good. It should smell like dirt. It should smell like a forest, a rain forest, or a forest around time when it rains. It should smell green, basically. All right, somebody tell me to stop and go do something else. All right, just told myself. All right, let's see what we got. Let me put up some of my stuff. All right, flip or real pull. All right, we're gonna grab this here stand. We're gonna put y'all up in chill. And we finna get ready to shut this thing on down. You know what, bro? I don't like streaming it. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say, complain about nothing. Streaming is fun. I do enjoy sharing this info. Um, Now the streaming part makes everything take twice as long because I'm having to do it. But I enjoy it though. I mean, it gets the blood going, gets my brain going because it forces me to have to talk this early in the doggone morning. Um, Which is too early in the morning to be talking. But either way it goes. I'm glad everybody show up who shows up. Appreciate your time, your energy, your efforts. I hope your garden is growing well and I hope you have an amazing day. So y'all know how this goes, right? Create more than you consume. Oh, I got too fast. Please don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You know what I'm saying? Do the YouTube stuff. I'm just gonna leave that at the YouTube stuff. I am on on IG as well. On IG, I suck at this. ISUCKATTHISSS, which stands for I suck at this seriously. Right? Gotta let you know. I don't know what I'm doing. My head just playing. All right. After that's being said, remember to always create more than you consume. And you don't have to suck at this because I do. Y'all have a good one, all right? Peace. Pew. Pew.